Dark spirits summon the mysterious Fezzelwig.
I thought it would be a nice idea to do some tips and advice for new players, because I haven't done one of those in a really long time, and I feel like there's always a good amount of new people coming to Everquest. Maybe they've either never played before or they've been away for a really long time, and that's what some of these videos are for folks that maybe started watching people stream or make videos and they got curious about the game and decided, you know, I never played it back in '99 when it came out. Maybe it's time to give it a try. So I'm gonna do a few things that you can do when you first get here. You first get to Crescent Reach. I'm on my little mount here and I'm gonna run down the road because that's where you land when you first get to Crescent Reach. It's also where you land if you use the Origin ability. For those that do not know, you get, I think you get Origin, I was going to say oranges. You get oranges. You get Origin, I think at level 5. Let's take a look. If you open your inventory, pressing I, click under Alt Advancement, and it's under General here, near the bottom. Origin. Requirements, level 5. No previous ability requirements. So yes, level 5 you get Origin. So you would select that, you would select hotkey and make a macro, and you would put it somewhere here on your hotbar. I already have it right here. There's another very useful thing that you could get, and this is at level 1. If you click under Special, scroll down, and you see Throne of Heroes. Again, you can make a macro with that, and you can put it on your hotbar. Throne of Heroes will take you up to the guild lobby. Keep in mind, these alternate advancement abilities may not be available to you if you're playing on one of the new TLP servers. I'm on Throne of I, so I have all the stuff available to me. Every expansion, it's just live EQ. But if you play on a TLP, that usually starts in the classic era or thereabouts and moves forward. So you probably won't have Origin available for a while, and you sure won't have Throne of Heroes available until, I guess, the guild lobby is available. When you first get to Crescent Reach, you'll probably have a note in your inventory. I think I already turned mine in, yeah. But I believe it looks just like a spell scroll or something similar. You would just find your guild master. They look like this. Here we go. Here's the monk one. Monk guild master. It'll say guild master over their head. I'm a mage, so I would want to find the mage's guild master. And I know they're around here somewhere. I think the caster ones are mostly along the outer perimeter. Like there's the enchanter one. Oh, there's the mage one right here with the very colorful robe. And I would just take my note if I had it. I'm gonna grab something here, like as for an example. So I would grab the scroll and I would left click and put it over the person, and that's the trade window, and I would just press give, and if it's the note, it would give me a little bit of XP, and it would give me a really shitty shirt. So if you want a really shitty shirt, you can do that. You might also want to check here with the spell merchants. There are some spell merchants here. Here's the one for Magician and Wizard. They're probably not going to have anything available for me because actually I'm a necromancer. I forgot this character's a necromancer, not a mage. Oh, and I can buy the root spell. So here's the necromancer merchant. Let's check to see if anything is available. I currently have all my spells purchased. I'm level 28 with this character, but they're one of my lowest level guys, and I thought it would be best to do this with them. So you could buy your spells there, and there are higher level spells available in other areas as well, and I'm going to show you those. So here is the main city or chamber of Crescent Reach. If you turn to the right and you see these two guards here and continue, here is the bank. And if you right click on the banker, you have access to your bank, and you can put money in here to save for later. You have a shared bank, which anything you put in these slots will be accessible to any other character on this account. So if you want other characters on the same account to access something, you could put it in here. But all the slots above the shared bank, that includes all of this here, they are only for your usage. Then we also have the Trade Skill Depot. If you left click on that, it will open up and show you the Trade Skill Depot. This is something not available to everybody. It certainly won't be available right away if you're on a TLP, unless it is. But you do have to purchase this feature. To do that, you would click on the Daybreak Store button. So let's close our windows right now. I really like this brown warg that is tempting me so much right now to purchase it. I might try to purchase it with one of my more commonly used characters. I'm not going to use it or buy it on a character that I don't play all that often. But here we go. We're going to hit trade in the search window and press enter. And if you do not have the Trade Skill Depot, it would show up, and it's similar to these crate looking things. This says Personal Trade Skill Depot Slots. If you didn't have the depot yet, you would see it there. It would say depot. But since I already have the depot, instead I can purchase extra slots. I could purchase as few as 10 and as many as 500. But that, of course, costs 12,500 Daybreak tokens. So that is going to be over a year of saving all your tokens if you have a gold account, or you're going to be buying tokens for that. I usually use my 500 that we get for free every month with our subscription. I guess it's not really free because we pay for it with our subscription, and you get 500 monthly. So every month I usually use this to buy 20 more slots for my depot, and you too can do that. And I didn't really say what the Trade Skill Depot is. It is a place where you can store all your trade skill stuff. So things like this natural spices, I could drop it in there. I could drop gems in there. So anything that I don't need to use right away, I could put it in here for storage for later, and use it for my trade skills. Similarly, there's something called a Dragon's Hoard. Dragon's Hoard is another thing you have to purchase. You can open up the window, and you can type dragon, I believe, and it's similar with the Trade Skill Depot, where I think you could buy slots. Yeah, see there it says Dragon's Hoard. So I have not purchased the Hoard on this character yet. To purchase it, I need to spend 1,500. I don't remember how many slots we get, but this will let you store equipment and things that don't fit in the Trade Skill Depot. So if you open up your Dragon's Hoard and it's usable, I could take like this broom and I could stick it in there. But you see here, I don't own the Dragon's Hoard, so I can't. But you could put just about anything in there as long as it doesn't have any augments. Like this ring, for example. It's got 3 augments in it. Anything with augments, for some reason, will not go in the Dragon's Hoard. Unless maybe they fix it one day. But as of filming, you cannot put anything with augments into the Dragon's Hoard. you would have to use one of your normal inventory slots in the bank to store that. Let's talk about the Parcels guy and Noble Exchange. I don't really use the Noble Exchange. I forget what it's for, but I can tell you the Parcels guy is really important and useful. So you see here, I have one of my characters have sent me something, sent me some armor. Grimbell sent me rough Defiant cloth pants and simple Defiant cloth sleeves. To retrieve these items, I can either hit retrieve to retrieve a single item or retrieve all to retrieve everything that was sent. So I will hit retrieve all, and there you go. I now have these items. I already have the sleeves, but I do not have the pants, and I'm pretty sure I can use these pants. I'm currently wearing the Glooming Deep cloth pants, which are terrible by comparison. Because see here, these rough Defiant pants has hit point and mana regeneration and a lot more stats if you want to compare side by side. Yes, I like the rough. Thank you. Not to be mistaken with I like it rough, which maybe I do, maybe I don't. So I'm just going to destroy these because they have no real value. I already have these sleeves, right? So let's do an example of how to send something. So if you want to send something to someone else, let's left click on these sleeves, and I'm going to type in the person's name that I want to send it to, which is important that you have the name correct, because you can have two different people, for example, named Bob. Maybe one has one B at the end, maybe the other one has two B's at the end, because every name in Everquest is unique, but you can have very similar names with slightly different spellings. So remember that. Make sure you're having the correct spelling. I can't tell you how many times I've accidentally parceled something to someone who I didn't even know because I got the name misspelled or miswritten. And I've had people accidentally parcel things to me as well. And it's terrible. So I spelled out the name Grimbell and I just click send. And there it is. It's on its way. And you see here under chats, it says Sentry Sudi told me I will deliver the simple Defiant cloth sleeves to Grimble as soon as possible. So that means it worked and it's on its way. And if I log in that other character, because that's actually one of my alts, I can retrieve that item. All right, let's go upstairs and show you one other thing that I think is very, very useful. Did you know you can get all of your trade skills up to 50 without spending any money or needing any supplies or doing any farming? And you could do it all right here in Crescent Reach. And I know there's those of you that will say, but you could do it in Abysmal Sea also, and when you do it there, you can unlock usage of some materials. Yes, you can do that. But I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible for anybody that may be new. So let's do it here for the sake of simplicity, all right? We're going to go over here to learn pottery, and there's trade skill quest, right? You hail this person, and you say training, and you say ready to start, and look, they give you supplies, and you can read this all out, but I chose not to. I think this is done on the pottery wheel, but I'm not entirely sure. It might be done in the kiln. So let's try to combine these two things. Okay, so they're not being combined on the wheel, so that means we go to the kiln. This is the one skill that requires two different steps to actually make anything useful. It's a little bit unique that way. So I am pressing Control to pick up single items off of this stack. If you don't press Control, you click and you get this menu with the slider, or you have to go over here and select one to pick up one. But if you hold Control, That's another really useful, helpful hint. Hold control to pick up a single item from any stack. It's not just trade skill stuff. It's, you know, my food, my water. I could do arrows or whatever. And what I'm doing here is I got to keep trying to combine this until I have a success. You look here, my skill just hit 1. So I didn't even have a 1 in pottery. So I'm going to fail a lot. Oh, there we go. We succeeded. Once you succeed once, you could close the kiln and you're done. I'm joking. You're not done. But you could do this a lot easier. So we got simple repaired plate. I'm going to type in simp, short for simple, because why spell out the whole word? Hit enter in the search bar, and there we go. We got simple repaired plate, trivial at 31. Now we can hit make all and hit combine. And this will save you some time. You can get up, use the restroom. You can get up and go brew yourself some coffee. Then come back and it will be done. And then you can repeat the process until your skill reaches the trivial score of 31. As you see, I've completed it. I'm not quite at 31. So what I can do is, if I have the other person targeted, which I do, you see their names flashing, I can say supplies to them and they will offer me more supplies. You see, or I could just click right here where it says supplies, and there we go. They gave me more supplies. So now I can just hit combine again, and I will continue where I left off, combining until I reach trivial 31, or if I get a stack of 20 completed simple repaired plates, I could turn them in for a little bit of faction and XP. You may ask, what is faction, Fez? I don't know. Remember, I'm new. Faction is just how much the people that live in that city, that run that city, how much they like you. There may be different factions in the city. You may gain faction with one group and lose faction with another group. So you always want to pay attention to what the score is. Once I hit 20, I'm going to turn these in just so you could see as an example. Ooh, I'm 1 shy of 20, so let's hit supplies and keep going. There we go. Task stage completed. So I'm going to stop for now, right? I'm also going to highlight this and make sure I hit add, which is going to come in a minute. Once I reopen the pottery wheel, I'll show you. So we're going to go to him. We're going to hand him the stack of 20 plates. And there we go. You see here, your faction standing with Circle of Crystal Ring has been adjusted by 10. So I got 10 positive faction points with Circle of Crystal Ring. Fortunately, I didn't get any negative faction points. But if I did, you would see a similar message under this one that would say, you have lost maybe 5 points or 10 points or 1 point with Circle of Dookie Buttheads, okay? Because the Dookie Buttheads don't like the Circle of Crystal Wing. So the Dookie Buttheads will dislike you for helping the Circle of Crystal Wing. That is the best way of explaining it. And then when you run into the Dookie Buttheads, if your faction got so low with them by helping out the Circle of Crystal Wing, they might actually attack you and try to kill you, even if you don't attack them first. Because they're the Dookie Buttheads, man. What can I say? It doesn't really matter if they like you or not. And there are factions like that where they hate you already, so it really doesn't matter that you're pissing them off. So we're going to go back here to the kiln. I'm going to click on it. And remember when I hit add, now this shows up right away on my list. So it's easier to access. And once you have too many things, you can always start removing the silly things that you no longer need, because this simple repaired plate really is only useful for this particular quest, so I do plan on removing it once I don't need it anymore. But for now, it's convenient to have it right there on the list, so I don't have to do a search for it. So my ability is now at 23, and I'm gonna just keep on going until I get it either to 31, where this is trivial, or until I make 20 more plates and turn them in. I'm trying to find these plates. Oh, here they are. They're in a different bag now. Alright, I made 11, and I'm not quite at the trivial level yet, so let me tell the guy supplies. Oh, you must be doing the task. I'm not doing the task yet. Right. I forgot that. Ready to start. Okay. So now I'm doing another task. So, yeah, remember, if you turn them in, you actually need to get the task again, otherwise it's not going to do anything. Alright, I did hit 31, so, but I only need to make 2 more to get 20, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to let it go to 20. There we go. And then we're going to stop. I'm going to hit close. I'm going to turn these in. What? Oh, it says I only made 9. Okay, yeah, because I forgot I was crafting the other ones before getting the mission. So, you know what happens in this case? We're going to say destroy. We're going to look for the other supplies. We're going to say destroy for that as well. And then we're going to remove this task. And we're going to get the next task. So I'm going to say ready to start. And this one is different. You see, he gave me different supplies. He gave me a simple pot mold and small block of scrap clay. So I want to go over here to the kiln again. I think it's the kiln. I'm not sure. Let's try it in the kiln and see if it works. Yes, it did. So notice it worked right away with this one because I already have some skill in pottery. So like we did before, we're going to type in simp, short for simple, so we can see the simple pot, and there it is. We can hit add if we want to, and we're going to hit make all, because that will just have the system make all the components into your pot, so you have all this pot, and then you can sell it to your friends because you're now a pot dealer. And this is not sounding the way it's supposed to, because yeah, you sell pots like kettles, not pot as in drugs. Just make sure that's clear out there. I think I'm going to have this become trivial really quick. Well, maybe not. I'm 1 point away from it becoming trivial. Wow. Okay, so I'm going to say supplies, and I'm going to keep on going. I got 13 pots, so I'll probably try to finish this and make all 20 pots so I could turn it in, even if it's trivial. I still haven't skilled up. Sometimes that'll happen. Oh, there we go. It's at 38 now. But I'm going to make like, what, 4 more pots, so I'll have my 20. I could turn them in. I can get my faction and XP with this guy. There's 19, there's 20. Okay, so I can hit stop. I'm gonna turn these in and hit give, and now you see it says task completed. So here is where we tell him ready to start one more time. He gives us more supplies, and I believe this one is where we use the actual pottery wheel, I think, because we've got clay and water, and that's usually a pottery wheel thing. So we got small block of scrap clay and salt water, and we make a mug. And I believe these seals are something that we put on when we start baking it. Oh, similar to how we did it before with the pottery wheel, you could also type in simp, short for simple, hit enter, and this is trivial at 46. You can also hit add if you want it to show up on the list, and hit make all, and then hit combine, and just wait until you hit the trivial score of 46. We're already at 40, so we should be able to hit 46 before we use all the supplies, but maybe not. We might have to do another round. So I hit 46. Do I want to waste time combining all this stuff? I don't think I actually do. So I think I'm just going to remove the task, which is great. You don't have to actually finish these tasks. You could just use them to skill up and then stop if you want to. So I say ready to start. I get a new thing here. Wow, that's a lot of supplies. We want to make some unfired arrow shafts, I believe. It looks like I need the small scrap of clay, the dye, and the water in the kiln. And it failed the first time. So let's try it again. There we go. And we have a simple arrow shaft. It explains it to you in the quest description what you need to do. So if you're not sure and you're confused because my instructions are not the best, then look at that, please. And this is trivial at 54, which is what we're after. We're after the trivial of 54, because then I could do the next step in my guide here to better trade skills and tips for being new at the game, especially if you want to do trade skills. Trade skills are not a requirement. They're not mandatory in this game, but they do help you out quite a bit, and I enjoy them. So that's why a lot of my guides and tutorials are very trade skill eccentric or trade skill focused, because it's sort of what I do. Okay, we hit pottery 52, which is good enough for the next step. So I'm going to close this and I'm going to remove this task because we no longer need it. We used them and we got what we wanted, and now we're done. So I'm going to hit destroy on the supplies that I do not need, because it'll just take up space in the inventory, and we don't want that. We don't want to have it taking up space in our inventory. So there we go. We destroyed all the stuff that we didn't need anymore, and we removed the quest that we didn't want. I'm going to do one more quick task here because it's so fast and so easy, and it can help a lot of people. We're going to go over here and talk to Disgruntled Boab. He's another guy you really want to chat with if you're brand new to the game and you don't have a good weapon or a shield. So you talk to him, you answer his prompts, and you say you're going to deliver this little bottle to someone named Rikesh, who happens to be right next door in this room. They are up here. It's council member Rikesh to the right here in the blue and gold robe. So you hand that to them and you hit give. You've got the first part of the quest completed, and they give you a belt. You hit select to have the belt. If you don't have any belt equipped, you can equip it. Before you go anywhere, you look at the chat. They will say something to you, and you have to reply with allegiance. Then they will say something else to you, and you will apply with all clear. That is when you get this pink bottle, and the pink bottle needs to be delivered to Disgruntled Boab, which is the first guy we spoke to. So we're going to close the quest window, and we're going to run back here next door to Disgruntled Boab. We're going to give him the pink bottle, and he turns into a bunny, which is fantastic. If you're a little bit patient and you wait, you start off with the mask. You get this mask that has a clicky effect that gives you a resistance, 25 resistance to poison. So you select that. And then over here, you have an achievement reward where you have option of 2 different prizes. Make sure you choose wisely. Choose the one that gives you what you want. Both of them give you a shield, but one gives you a simple consigned dagger, the other one gives you a simple consigned wand. I'm partial to the one-handed blunt, so I'm going to select wand. And now if you look here, I have a shield, I have a wand, so both are decent for really low levels. If you're anything from like level 1 to 10, actually it says required level 5, so level 5 to level 15 or 20, it's going to be super useful to you. And all you had to do was run back and forth between 2 rooms and hand some bottles to somebody. Next, I'm going to teach you how to leave Crescent Reach and get to the Plains of Power. There are 2 ways. You can click the Throne of Heroes to get to the guild lobby, or we could just run there. And we're going to run there, just that way you know how to run there. So we're going to head east. Remember, there's a compass on your screen, so use it. Make sure you put the compass somewhere that you can see it and acknowledge it. And you're going to head east, straight down these stairs to the exit. And there's a little bridge up ahead, still going east. Going to cross the bridge and go up this way. And then we're going to curve to the left or north, and we're going to come out the tunnel. Okay, we're in Blightfire Moors. Again, we're going to be heading east until we get to the edge here, and then we're going to be turning right and head south and run along the wall. That way you don't get attacked by rats and stuff. You'll see this little book on a tree stump. You're going to left click on it, and that's going to bring you to the Plane of Knowledge. Once you're in the Plane of Knowledge, we're going to head south. And here's another useful tool, useful hint. Right here is the Soul Binder. If you hail them, you can say, "Bind my soul," and they will bind you to the Plane of Knowledge. If you played in the Glooming Deep tutorial zone, you might be bound there. And it's always good to be bound in the Plane of Knowledge, because it's a hub, it's a transport hub. There are portals to all the other zones, or many different zones, here in the Plane of Knowledge. So it's great to be bound here. So from the Soul Binder, we're going to head south, then we're going to turn left a little bit, and we're going to turn south again, or to the right, and we're here at the Freeport Stone. We're going to left click on the Freeport Stone. So there's the book to get back to Plane of Knowledge, but we don't want to go there. We're going to turn around and we're going to head northwest, and then just turn and go straight north to this wall up here until you see the camp on the left. And we're going to talk to my absolute favorite halfling in the world, event coordinator Boobly Diggs. Hey Boobly, how's it going? I hope you're well. You're going to left click on Boobly Diggs, you're going to hail her, and you're going to say test. And we did work on our pottery skill, so we're going to ask for the pottery test. That's right, Boobly Diggs will help you get your pottery trophy. So we're going to click on pottery, and here you see it. She has given you the beginner pottery test. So you got to craft all these items, and once you craft them, you're going to bring them here to Judge Marion, and she will judge them. And once she has completed judging them, she will hand you a scorecard. You will then hand the scorecard to Boobly Diggs, and Boobly Diggs will award you with your trophy. Once you get your trophy, you usually would put it over in your ammo slot, or it could even go in your range slot, or your primary, or your secondary. You can go in any of those slots, and what it does is it will give you a bonus to doing that trade skill. So if you have your smithing trophy, it'll give you a smithing bonus. If you have your pottery trophy, it will give you a pottery bonus. Always have your trophy equipped when you're working on those trade skills, because the trophies evolve. They start off being a beginner trophy, and as you progress and you skill up more and more, it evolves and gives you a larger and larger bonus to that skill, which is fantastic. This is where I'm going to end it here. I hope that some of these helpful hints or advice does help you in some way. I will try to do this more often, where I either revisit some advice that I've given in the past that I thought was good, or come up with new tips that may also be helpful. If you like this, leave a thumbs up. It would really help me get seen in the algorithm. You can also subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Or better yet, you could join the channel as a channel member. Channel members get special perks and privileges, like a link to join my private Discord. There's also member-only content that shows up whenever I get the time to make it. You can also leave a super thanks. A super thanks is like a small donation or a tip saying, yeah, this was helpful, thank you. I want to thank all my current YouTube channel members and Patreon patrons for your support and your continued support. Those of you who have not only subscribed but resubscribed month after month are my absolute heroes. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. And thank you all for watching. Have a great day and a wonderful tomorrow.
Enough, Fezzelwig, be gone!